Hey there everybody, Mr. D here, and in this video we are going to continue working with that exponential base of e. So today we are going to be focusing very heavily on that number e, which again was roughly 2.71 blah 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 blah. So before we get there, let's kind of jog our memories about what that exponential base means and logarithms and how they all come into play. So here we have some warm-up problems. I have the natural log of e, the natural log of e to the second, natural log of 1, and natural log of 1 over e to the fourth. Remember with all of these, if there's no base given on natural logs, you automatically assume it's an e. All right, well the first one's saying e to what power is e? Well, that's just 1. Remember from our logs discussion, if your base and your argument are the exact same, then your answer is just 1. Number 2 is saying e to what power is e squared? Well, that power would be 2. If your base and your argument are the same, but there's an exponent on your argument, you would just steal that exponent. The same could be true for that first one, because technically there's an exponent of 1 on the e, is there not? Third problem here, e to what power is 1? Well, that has to be 0, because anything to the power of 0 is 1. Just like with logarithms, if your argument is 1, your solution is 0. And for this last one, I'm going to rewrite this as natural log base e of e to the negative fourth. Remember, if you ever have an exponent in the denominator, you can move it up. You just have to make it negative. The result here, since my base and argument are the same, I can just kind of steal the exponent value of negative 4. Okay. Now let's get into solving equations. You will need to use your calculator for this. These are not really doable by hand, just as a heads up. Our job with all of these is going to be isolate the exponential expression. All right, so if you ever have a variable trapped in the exponent, you need to get that base term all by itself and then solve from there. Okay? So on number 1. I have 5 times e to the x equals 23. Hey, how fun is that? My birthday is May 23rd, 523. Look at that. So first thing we'll do is let's divide 5 to the other side. If I do that, I'll get e to the x equals 23 divided by 5 is 4.6. Now, I would love to solve this from here, but I'm trapped in exponential form. I can't really do anything. If you're ever trapped in exponential form, throw yourself into logarithmic form. So I have log base e of 4.6 equals x. Log base e of 4.6 equals x. Well, log base e is just ln, and the base e is just assumed, of 4.6 equals x. Well, hey, that's just straight up calculator work. So on my calculator, I'm going to hit the ln button, and then 4.6, and I'm getting 1.526. So again, when you're trapped in exponential form, throw yourself into logarithmic form. If you see the number e, you are forced to use natural logs. Let's try number 2. E to the 3x power plus 5 equals 19. Well, let's start off by throwing the 5 to the other side. So e to the 3x equals 14. We're stuck in exponential form, so just like we did on that previous example, we're going to throw ourselves into logarithmic form. So I'll have natural log of 14 equals 3x. The left side is straight into the calculator. Natural log of 14 is about 2.639. So 2.639 equals 3x. Therefore, if I divided by 3 to solve for x, I would get 0.88 after rounding. So again, we got trapped in exponential form, threw ourselves into logarithmic form, calculator, and then divided out 3 at the end. All right, let's see one more, and then we're going to get into some applications, I believe. Yes. All right. So for this first one, or for this third one, we want to get the e by itself. So I'm going to move that 7 to the other side. I'm going to add that to the other side. So now it's set equal to 130. I'm trapped in exponential form. My exponent is unknown, so I have to go to natural log or logarithmic form. So the natural log of 130 equals 4x minus 5. Now this left side of the equation is going to be straight into the calculator. Once I get my answer, I'll have to add 5 to it and then divide out a 4. So natural log of 130, I'm getting 4.8675. 4.8675. And that is equal to 4x minus 5. From here, I'd add 5 to the other side, so it would be 9.8675, roughly. And that will equal 4x. Then we divide out the 4, and I'm getting 2.467 after some rounding. All right, so solving equations dealing with the number e isn't terrible. You will need a calculator, but the general rule is if you're ever trapped in exponential form, put yourself into logarithmic form. All right, let's take a look now at a new compound interest formula. We've already talked about that formula of, you have your starting amount times 1 plus or minus your growth rate to a certain number of time. We've already discussed, interest problems like that. But now we're going to learn a new style of compounding, and that's when we compound interest continuously. Now, interest can be compounded, annually, semi-annually, monthly. But compounded continuously means it's constantly gaining interest. It's constantly compounding that interest to its previous amount. The formula for this uses the exponential base, and that base is going to be e, okay? So the formula is a equals p times e to the RT power. I like to think of this as my PERT formula. So if you ever hear someone say PERT problems, that means you are compounding interest continuously. The a value is going to be how much or what amount you have after a given amount of time. P is called your principal, aka the starting value. E is the exponential base, so 2.7 stuff. R is going to be your rate of increase or interest. You have to write that as a decimal. And T, just like we've seen before, will represent your time in years. So PERT. If you remember nothing else from today, remember PERT. All right, let's take a look. A total of $12,000 is invested at an interest rate of 4.5%. Find the amount of money in the account after 7 years if it is compounded continuously. So this word continuously tells me that I am using the PERT formula. So if I'm using PERT, I need to know the starting amount. We've got it, 12 grand. I need to know the rate, 4.5%, so that's 0.045. I need to know the time, 7 years. So now I'm going to solve for the amount. So A equals $12,000 times E to the power of 0.045 times 7. This is a one-step straight to the calculator expression. Make sure you're being responsible with the parentheses up here in the exponent. Now when we do this, we should expect an answer greater than 12,000 if we're making money. So if you get something that's not bigger than 12,000, I think we've goofed. So let's see, I'm getting $16,443.11. So if you need to check that with your calculator to make sure we have those keystrokes being pressed, go for it. Let's see example 2. Suppose you won a contest at the start of 5th grade that deposits $33,000. Oh man, it'd be cool if it was 30 though. Into an account that pays 5% annual interest compounded continuously. Hey, that's the PERT word, continuously. How much would you have when you enter high school 4 years later? Okay, so starting amount, interest rate, 4 years. This is a PERT problem. So the amount we're going to have is 3,000 times e to the power of the rate 0.05 times 4. Straight into your calculator this goes. So we have 3,000 times, make sure you hit second and then ln, to the exponent of 0.05 times 4. And if my calculations are correct, getting $3,664.21. All right, we'll see one more that we kind of walk through, and then the remaining ones I already have written out, and I'll just kind of go by step on there. All right, example 3. A bank offers an interest rate of 2.3% that is compounded continuously. That's the PERT word. How much money do you need to invest to have $15,000 in 18 years? So right here, it's asking how much money do we need to start with. That means our principal value is unknown. Instead, they gave us the ending value, which is 15,000. So let's set this up. I want to end with 15,000. I have no idea what I've started with, but I know the rate was 0.023, and we're in there for 18 years. Whenever we solve these problems, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 variables to plug in for. They'll give you 3 of those 4, and you have to solve for the missing piece. All right, well, I can't really go to logarithmic form, and it wouldn't really be needed because I can actually solve this portion here. I can put that part into my calculator. So let's see, I'd have 15,000 equals P times, let's see, what is that? What is e to the 0.023 times 18? That'd be 1.5129. Okay, well, now to solve for P, this isn't too hard. I'll just do 15,000 divided by 1.5129. So I'll just divide this over to the other side. And in doing so, what am I going to get? 15,000 divided by 1.5129. I get 9,914.73. So we would need to start off with just over $9,000 in our account if we wanted 15,000 after 18 years. It's a pretty good return on investment there, I'd say. All right, let's get into the next 2. All right, you invest $575 into an account, so that's the principal, in 2010, and by 2016, so that is 6 years, your account has doubled, so that means our amount has doubled, so whatever 2 times 575 is. The bank you go to has the interest compounded continuously. What is the interest rate? Well, if I'm thinking of a PERT problem, I know the amount, I know the principal, I know the time, I need to solve for the rate. So let's see what we have, kind of more organized. R is missing. We know the starting, we know the ending amount, and we know the time. So let's take what we have and plug it into our PERT formula. So I'm going to plug in what I know. At this point, I could divide out the 575 to the other side. So I'll divide that over. And it makes sense that this simplifies down to 2, right? Because we're doubling our value. Well, at this point, I'm trapped in exponential form, so I'm going to rewrite this into logarithmic form. Since I'm using a base e, it has to be a natural logarithm. The left side of that equation now goes straight into my calculator, natural log of 2. Again, try it around to 3, 4, or 5 decimal places there. And to solve for r, I'll divide out the 6. So we'd have 0.1155 or 11.55% would be our answer there. So again, they did not give us the rate, but they gave us the other 3 ingredients. There are 4 total, so you have to use the 3 given to solve for the 4th. All right, example 5. How long, all right, so that alone tells me we're solving for t. How long to the nearest tenth of a year will it take $1,000, starting amount, to grow to 3,600 ending amount at an 8% annual interest. That's the rate, R value. Compounded continuously gives me permission to use PERT. That word is the PERT permission word. So let's plug in what we know. So we know A, we know P, we know R, we don't know T. So T was the unknown. We can divide the 1,000 to the other side. So I have 3.6 equals e to the 0.08t. At this point, I'm trapped in exponential form. Well, if you're ever stuck in exponential form, rewrite it into logarithmic form. So log base e, aka natural log, of 3.6 equals 0.08t. Left side goes straight into your calculator. Make sure you're not rounding too soon. And to solve, we're going to divide by 0.08. And this thing was asking for the nearest tenth of a year. So we have to go, I guess I gave it 100th. So about 16 years. All right, let me zoom out so you can get both of those on the same screen, in case you didn't get something written down. That is it for this video, folks. You know the drill. If you have questions, please do not hesitate to let me know. If I made any mistakes, definitely let me know. And as always, good luck, have fun, be safe, roll tide.